What's up? What's up? What's up? Hey, you guys. So my hair's a little long today. Please forgive me. I gotta get a haircut, but the barbershops are off limits to me right now, so I gotta go home and shave my head. But and I forgot my hat, so forgive the madness up there, okay? Um, I have to do a presentation for you guys today, but I'm gonna turn my screen around. So hold on 1 second while I turn this around. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you for so much for being patient. All right. So if this thing ever loads, all right. So it says staying sharp, keeping our mental health right. I wanted to do this because the other day was World Mental Health Day uh, on the 10th of October. Okay. And I didn't do any lesson for you guys on that. And I realized that keeping our mental health right, especially right now during this time of COVID, is so important. If we're not healthy and happy, things can go wrong for us real quick. Okay, and so we're going to talk a little bit about what happens in our body to keep us happy, and what we can do. Some real quick tips to make sure that we stay happy. Okay. So stay with me. This shouldn't take too long. I hope it's not that long of a presentation. Okay. So right now, I think it's really important because of COVID-19 that we remind ourselves of all of the challenges that happen to our mental health for us, the challenges that come about and keep us from being happy on a daily basis, right? So first is our physical health of ourselves, our family, and friends. We're all really worried about what's going on out there and who's getting sick and who's not getting sick, and if we do get sick, how do we get better, and are we going to be able to get better? And so that weighs heavy on a lot of us, on a lot of our minds, right? Especially for grandparents and uncles and aunts and that sort of thing, right? I hope that none of you guys get sick, but I know it is a big worry in a lot of your lives. Okay, so the physical health is one of the big ones of our challenges to our mental health and our happiness right now. Okay, social isolation from our circle of friends. That means that right now during this time we're in quarantine, or we're supposed to be locked down at our house and staying home as much as possible. So we don't get to hang out with our friends that we normally would. If your friends are normally here in school, we don't get to do that. Or if you normally go and hang out with friends like at baseball or football practice and that kind of stuff, or hang out with your primos and primas or your cousins, right? That's the kind of stuff we don't get to do right now because of COVID. So it's a big challenge for us. We don't have the lack of we have a big lack of recreational activities. We can't go fishing, camping, skating, all that stuff, right? We can't go to the movies. That's something that's huge for teenagers and stuff like that, right? To be able to go hang out with our friends and have something to do, go get ice cream or go to McDonald's and do all that stuff, right? So the lack of recreational activities. And then our proximity. Proximity means just how close we are to our family in the house, right? We all love our families a lot, right? But sometimes when you're there with them all day, every day, and you don't have a big, huge, giant mansion to wander around, sometimes just being too close to them can get on your nerves and irritate you and bug you, right? So it's not always the healthiest of situations to be locked up in the house during COVID, right? Tension about work or finances being passed on. Yeah, most of you guys don't have jobs or have to worry about paying the rent, but I know our parents do, right? And I know because they're worried about work or how they're going to pay the rent, it kind of gets passed on to you. And if they get mad or upset about something, they're going to take it out on you sometimes. And unfortunately, that's the way it happens. And then you take it out on your little brother, your little sister, right? So just be aware of that. That even though you're not working, you still might be feeling that tension. Okay. And then mental health challenges. There are a lot of us out here with real anxiety or depression or bipolar disorder. A lot of people have it and haven't been diagnosed with it, and it is a real challenge to life in general and to your happiness and your mental well-being. Okay, so I just put all those because COVID right now really makes these worse for us. And so we got to remember this is because of COVID is the reason why we got to stay mentally sharp and healthy and okay, keep our happiness going. So I wanted to put some myths about happiness up here. A lot of people believe that money is going to solve all their problems and then make them happy. The myth about that is some of the most wealthiest, richest people in the world are some of the most unhappiest. There are people that commit suicide on a daily basis that have millions of dollars in a bank somewhere. They don't have to worry about money, but it's not the money that's bringing them happiness, right? Money also brings problems, and so money's not going to solve that happiness thing. You got to be happy for you before the money comes in, and you know, having $5 might not hurt, right? Or having an extra 20 might be good, so you can go buy some flaming hot Cheetos or whatever, right? But in life in general, money's not going to solve your problems, and it's not going to bring you the happiness that you're looking for. Okay. There's a lot of people that think that happiness comes when they have a relationship and they meet the love of their life and they get married, and Prince Charming takes them, and you move into the castle and now you're happy forever after, right? That's false. Happiness is within you, and if you can't find happiness on your own, you're not going to find it with somebody else, or they're not going to bring it to you. So we need to make sure that your happiness is straight you, and you're the only one that's getting it. Okay. um there's also a myth that says adults aren't happy, only children can be happy, because children are the ones without the bills and without all the responsibilities, and so yeah, children can be happy, yeah, but adults can be happy as well. There is something that says even adults get even happier as they get older. So as life goes on and you don't have as many bills no more, maybe you pay off your house, or you've already raised your kids and stuff like that, maybe you get a little bit happier later on. Okay. Some people are just naturally happy and there's nothing you can do to change it, and then some people vice versa would be naturally unhappy and there's nothing you can do to change it, right? Well, there are a lot of things to be able to do to change your happiness or your sense of being happy, right? And that is what we'll talk about. Okay. So I put this here: happiness is 90% perception and 10% reality. I always talk to all of my kids about this because perception means how we view the world or how we take things in, how we perceive them. It's our view of life, right? And our happiness is 90% about how we view life and how we see things rather than how they really are. And I'll give you a prime example. There are people sitting in prison today that have been uh, sentenced to die in prison. Basically, they get life sentences. Okay. And they may have done something terrible or may not have. That's not, up to me right now to decide. A judge probably already decided that for them. What I will tell you is that some of those people decide that even though they're going to be in prison, right, they're still going to have a sense of happiness. So some of them will work to earn a college degree. Some of them will work to better themselves as people, and they find their happiness every day. Even though they're waking up within the same wall, they're waking up apart from their family. They're waking up in their own little world that is something that they wouldn't have wanted to for themselves to be in, right? That's their reality. Their reality is they're locked in a wall. Their reality is they're never going to see the outside world again. Uh, That's their 10% reality, but their 90% perception is, I can get up, excuse me, I can get up today and be happy and make myself a better person. So if they can do that being in prison, then we can do that out here. Okay. Here's another big one for your happiness. You got to take control of what you can, and more importantly, let go of what you can't. As people, a lot of times we want to be able to try to change the whole world, right? And think that that's going to make life easier for us, and think that that's going to create our happiness. It really doesn't. There's a certain point where you got to say, you know what, this stuff right here, I can actually do something about. I can actually change. I can actually control, and I'll work on that, right? But this stuff over here, I have no control over that. So I just got to let it go and go do its thing, and it's not going to affect me. Or it may affect me as a person, but not my emotional stability or my emotional happiness, right? So, for example, as a teenager growing up in a family, right? Right now, none of us can control what's going on with COVID, right? Or when we're coming back to school. We can't do anything about that, right? But what you can do is making sure that you're doing your assignments that your teacher's giving you, you're doing everything that you need to be doing to get good grades in school. So when we do come back to school, you guys are caught up and it won't feel like you're so lost or anything. Okay. So take control of what you can, do what you can, and then let go of what you can't. Okay, that's a good motto to live by. Ooh, so I'm going to talk to you guys a little bit about the science behind how we become happy and why we are happy to begin with. Our body and brain controls everything, and our brain is the center of our whole body. Okay, it sends out signals to our body to do, lift your right arm or lift your left arm, jump in place. Your brain does all that, but our brain also produces a bunch of chemicals. Okay, and a bunch of these chemicals are also what's responsible for our happiness. So I'm going to talk to you guys a little bit about that. Okay. So our brain produces chemicals to make us happy. There's a chemical called dopamine, which produces a good feeling when we do reward-seeking behavior. So, say I'm trying to earn some money to go out and maybe buy a new pair of shoes, right? So I asked my parents if I could cut the grass or do something like that, right? Our body actually produces dopamine after we accomplish that, and if you want it, and if it produces a good sense of a good feeling when it produces that dopamine, right? So if you want to increase the amount of dopamine in your brain and in your system, in your body, right, then you do that by setting goals and achieving them. So you tell yourself, you know what, by the end of the day, I'm going to make sure that my room is clean, and then you achieve it, and so your body actually produces a little more of that chemical that's going to make you feel good about life. Oxytocin, okay, that produces happiness through connection and bonding. Okay, so this is the chemical your body produces when you feel bonded to somebody, you feel close to somebody, you feel like you're loved and they love you. Okay, I mean, they love you and you love somebody else. Okay, so if you want to increase the oxytocin levels, hug somebody you love, or if you ain't got nobody around to hug, cuddle with your dog, right? Your cat, anything, right? Somebody or something that you have a real connection with, right? Make sure that you get that oxytocin level up. Okay. Endorphins are the chemicals that decrease pain in our body. So every day, our body goes through things that might cause it pain. You accidentally slam your hand against a table, or you stub your toe when you get up in the middle of the night. Okay. Endorphins are the things that our bodies release to actually uh, mask that and make sure that our body don't feel as much pain. Okay, so to increase the endorphins in your body, okay, you have to do it through very physical exercise. So go for a run, do jumping jacks, do anything that would put your body through a workout, and that'll increase the endorphins in your body. Okay. GABA, okay, and I'm gonna say it GABA because I don't think it's called GABA. I think it is GABA. It's the molecule that produces a sense of calmness in your body. right? Like everything is slowing down and I can control this and I'm feeling good about that. So you can increase GABA by doing meditation or yoga. So all those people that you see out there doing yoga, like at Sunset Cliffs and stuff like that, that's what they're doing. They're out there trying to increase their GABA. Okay, you can do it if by just doing meditation. And meditation sounds like something strange or weird, but sometimes just closing your eyes and thinking, sitting there very calm, concentrating on your breathing, just breathing in, holding it, and breathing out very slowly and deeply. Okay, that's meditating. Serotonin. Serotonin helps to increase your self confidence levels and your sense of worthiness and your sense of belonging. So serotonin is a really important thing, okay? If you want to increase your serotonin levels, you got to challenge yourself and do things that give you a sense of accomplishment. So for example, challenge yourself to learn, to read faster on your reading test, or challenge yourself to build a model, or challenge yourself to build something out of some Legos, right? That's going to increase your serotonin levels and make you feel better. Adrenaline creates a surge in energy and makes you feel very alive. You can increase it by doing scary things, or being or breathing very rapidly, or contracting your muscles. So, like say you're gonna go on a roller coaster, that's gonna increase your adrenaline, okay? Or you're gonna, let me see, what else could you do scary that would be safe? Maybe if you're afraid of the dark, going into a dark room might increase your adrenaline, okay? Or if you breathe very rapidly, like that's going to increase your adrenaline too, okay? It's going to make you feel very energetic, okay? Um, I put this here because we have to train our brain, okay? Our brain is something that is naturally focused and trained to watch out for strange things, okay? It's supposed to look out for what's wrong, what's different, and that's a survival mechanism. Our brain does that to be able to protect our body. So you walk into a brand new room, our brain is looking for what might fall off the wall and hurt you, or our brain is looking for who might be in that room that might hurt you. Okay, it's a way our body deals with being able to survive and being able to be healthy. But we can train our brain to not only look at what's strange and what's wrong, but also look at things that are positive in our life. Okay, so training our brain to be happy doesn't mean ignoring reality. I'm not gonna say if you're going into a new situation, you should ignore the threats in a new situation, or the things that might hurt you, right? But you also got to be able to train your brain to look at the things that might be able to reward you in a new situation as well. Okay, look for positive things in a situation and stop focusing on the negative. In life, we tend to focus on the negative so much, and those people that are really happy are the people that focus on the positive things in life. Okay, for example, you know, we all have to come to school and do what we got to do at school. And that could be a negative thing. Every time you wake up in the morning, you could say, "Oh my gosh, I hate going to school. I wish I didn't have to go to school," right? And yeah, you would be very negative and you wouldn't feel very good about going to school on a daily basis. But if you were to look at it as a positive thing and say, "Hey, you know what? Let me just get this school thing out of the way with this morning, and then I'm gonna have the rest of my day for myself, and I can do what I want to do or do what I need to do." That's being a little more positive about things. Okay. Express gratitude for things in life. So gratitude just means that you're grateful for things. Okay, you're happy to have things, and all of us have situations in life where we think, we're in the worst situation in the world at times. But to be honest with you, there's always somebody out there that's got a story that's worse than yours, right? You could say, "Man, it's messed up. I don't get to have brand new shoes when I want," right? Or I my parents can't afford to buy me the hoverboard that I want, right? But there's somebody out there without feet. There's somebody out there without the legs to be able to ride a hoverboard. So we got to be grateful for the things we do have, and that will bring you happiness or help to bring you happiness. Okay, so train your brain to recognize what's good, and you'll feel happier. I put this here. Okay, it's a glass of water as a little example of if we're thinking positively or we're thinking negatively. Okay, so let's say we all just went out to PE, we all just ran, and you got real hot and sweaty out there. Okay, you come in and you ask for a glass of water, and I bring you back this glass of water. Now, somebody that's really negative is going to say, "Why'd you only bring me back a half a glass of water?" Right? I asked you for a glass of water, and you only brought me a half a glass. That's messed up, right? Somebody that's being positive would say, "Thank you for the half. Thank you for the glass of water." Right? This will really help make me help quench my thirst or help help me cool down. Okay, so it's either about having to look at things positively or negatively. Okay, um, so we're gonna go into some tips on how to make things feel happier for you guys. I put great relationships equal happiness. So the people in general that have really great relationships in their lives tend to be a lot happier in their lives. Okay, so we're gonna talk about a little bit about how to make those relationships great relationships. You're going to take the time to nurture the meaningful relationships in life. And why I say meaningful is because we all know people that, we know through Instagram, Facebook, people that are, we would call associates. They're not very meaningful relationships in our life. So don't waste a lot of your time on those relationships. If you're only talking to somebody through Instagram, and that's the only reason why you talk to them, then don't waste a lot of your time, right? But meaningful relationships like family, your actual friends that you get to hang out with, uh, those are the relationships that you should spend a little more of your time in building and making sure that they know that you're there for them. Okay. The happier the person, the more likely they are to have a large supportive circle of family and friends. And I got this from a science review journal that said happy people have more family and friends. Okay, so if you're working to make sure that you build this big, large circle of friends, okay, it's going to work for you later on to make sure that you're a lot happier. Building great relationships lead to happiness, which leads to more relationships. So happy people find great friends, and great friends find happy people. So if you're building these relationships with people, you're going to become a lot happier, and then your happiness is going to lead you to look for more people that are also happy and allow you to build more relationships. Okay. I put to be a great friend. Oh, be a great friend to have great friends. So a lot of times there's a lot of people that wonder, how do I get more friends or how do I make friends, right? But to get those great friends, you have to be a great friend. So start by staying connected. A lot of times in life we get petty and we won't hit up somebody unless they hit us up first, right? Or I'm not gonna text them unless they text me first. I'm not gonna say hi unless they say hi to me first. We got to look all past that. We got to stop being petty, and we got to be real with the people that we actually care about. So stay connected with them. Make the effort to, even if it's your mom or dad and you haven't had a chance to stay connected to them and be uh, be part of their life, make sure you do that. Okay. Have quality time with the people that are really important to you. So that means, spend time with them, and it's time that you're away from your phone. It's time that you're away from your Xbox. It's time you're away from your social life, and you're just spending quality time with somebody. You could sit there and have deep, meaningful conversations, or you could sit there and cuddle with your mom, and you'd feel a lot better. She'd feel a lot better. Okay. I put give compliments. Give compliments to people on how they make you feel. Tell them that you love them, tell them that they're great people in your life, tell them that you appreciate everything they do for you. Okay, you appreciate the fact that they're there for you. You appreciate the fact that they do what they do. Okay, and then I put, don't hate, congratulate. We spend way too much time as people hating on other people that are doing good, when we should be taking our time to raise people up that are doing good and making sure that they know that they are doing doing right. Okay, so spend your time, instead of leaving hateful comments on people's Instagrams, or talking bad about people on TikTok. Talk good about people on TikTok. Okay, I put, live in the moment but plan for tomorrow. As young people, old people like me are always trying to push you into making sure that you're doing what you need to do so you can go to college or so you can have a good future, right? But you got to remember that you still got to live as a young person. And yeah, we live and enjoy life today, and but we plan for tomorrow. Okay, we make sure that there is a plan and a backup plan for our future, but we still got to enjoy what we're going through today. So enjoy life while you are young. Don't be in such a rush to grow up. When I was a young man, all I could do was wish that I was 21 so I could drive and have my own car, and then move out on my own and stuff like that, right? But now that I got my own car, master's degree, a house, I got a project car that I'm working on. Um, I have money in my pocket, have money in my bank account. I would give all that up to be 10 years old again. Okay. Don't rush to grow up. There's not Life ain't all that much better as a grown up. You got adults that wishing that we were kids again, so we didn't have the responsibilities and didn't have to pay bills, and you know it ain't all that great. Believe me. Okay. Don't be afraid to be a kid still. I know, even as at your age, going out and throwing a water balloon with your friends is something that's still really cool to do, right? Having a water gun fight, drawing or coloring on in with crayons, that's still something that you guys should take the opportunity to do. There's nothing that says that you guys can't enjoy your youth and be a kid still. Okay. I put, stop to smell the roses. We get so busy in life every day that we forget that life is life, and life can be great. Life can make us, help us to be happy if we can stop and actually appreciate it. So you stop and smell the roses means, like, if you're walking to the store one day and you happen to pass a rose bush, you got to stop and appreciate the beauty of that rose bush, and smell how great it and beautiful it smells. Okay. I put, relay happy memories. You guys all got phones, I mean, cameras on your phones, right? And the thing is, you guys got to take pictures of those good, great, happy memories, and so you can relive them and replay them for when you don't feel so good. Go back through, scroll through all your photos on your phone, right? And pull up those memories with your best friends. Pull up those memories with your family doing special things, and that'll help make you feel better, right? Use that phone and that camera for what it's intended for, not just to brag about how great your day is, right? But go back and look up the good memories and make sure that you feel good about what you've been through. Live life with meaning. Okay. Science has proven that those that help others and give back to their communities tend to be happier and healthier. Okay. So volunteer. I know you guys are kind of young still, but you guys can still volunteer at your churches, at the park, even at a library to help read to kids that are younger than you. You guys can volunteer to help your little brothers and sisters do their homework. Okay. And that'll give you a sense of worthiness and a sense of good feeling about yourself because you're helping other people. Practice kindness or do what I call racks. Okay. Random acts of kindness. So be kind to other people and do it just out of the ordinary. Okay, just Do it because you're doing it, not because somebody's asking you to do it, not because you're going to get anything from it. Help somebody put their groceries into their car. Help somebody carry their groceries from their car into their house. Donate a pair of shoes. Do something random that's going to make somebody else feel good, and I guarantee you will feel a lot better about yourself too. Okay. This last one here is kind of important. I put find what you're passionate about and get somebody to pay you for it. Too often in life, when we're growing up as teenagers, we want to focus on, oh, I need to make money when I become an adult, right? And you want to make these giant sums of money so that way you could become rich, right? I will tell you, real happiness comes from doing something that you're passionate about. For me, I am passionate about helping young people do the job that I do right now, right? I'm a school counselor because that's what I always wanted to do. And fortunately, some people here at Darnell are willing to pay me for it. So I come to work every day being happy to come to work. And I hardly miss a day because I love my job. And so for me, it's not a job, it's a career. And because it's a career, it's something I'm happy to do. I don't have to look at the clock and say, when do I get to go home, right? I get to look at the clock and say, when do I get to go to work? And so you guys got to find what you're passionate about and make sure that you get somebody to pay you for it later on. Okay. Here's the important part. You got to take care of you. Okay. You can't be anything for anyone until you're something for you. That's one of my favorite quotes of my own for a long time because a lot of us want to grow up and help our parents, make sure we buy a house for them, help our little brothers and sisters. Uh, but you can't do any of that until you help yourself, right? Until you're ready and stable and happy in life, then you can go back and help the other people that need your help. Okay, but you got to do something for you first. Take care of your physical and mental well-being. For me, I put for you guys got to exercise and sleep. Okay, that's one of the biggest keys to being good during, especially during this time right now. You guys don't get to exercise very much because you guys don't have your PE classes and stuff like that. But there's nothing to say you can't do jumping jacks in your room, or you can't run in place, or you can't do push-ups, that kind of stuff, right? And then get enough sleep at night. Get off your phone. Okay, put your phone down. Go to sleep so that way when you got to get up and for school in the morning, you're not tired, you're not sleepy, you don't get on your teacher's nerves. Okay, make sure you're getting enough sleep. And I put get rid of the toxicity. Okay, there are things in life that drain us of our energy, drain us of our happiness, drain us of the great mental well-being that we could have, right? They could be people, they could be events, right? So if there are relationships in your life that are toxic and draining, get rid of them. And then by toxic, I mean they're just like poisonous. Like every time you even think about them, you feel bad. Okay. So if you have friends that are toxic and draining, cut them out of your life. You don't need them, right? It's harder to do that with family, but as you get older, you'll be able to. Okay. Get rid of the toxicity. Get rid of the things that are poisonous to your soul, to your body, to your health. Okay. So that's all I got for you guys today. I want you guys to make sure that you're staying sharp. Okay. You're taking care of your own mental well being. You're staying healthy and happy. And I will talk to you guys later. Okay. Hopefully next week with a hat. All right. Bye.